Hey guys, and welcome to Transformers The Last Night in Hindsight. This is the fifth film, obviously in the Transformers franchise, again directed by Michael Bay. It's the second film we have with Mark Wahlberg kind of being our leading man. Also, we have some human additions to this cast. We've got Anthony Hopkins, Laura Haddock, and Isabela Moner. You know, we get most of the familiar faces back in terms of the Autobots and the Decepticons with Megatron, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee kind of being the main ones that return here. So, you know, this film is very much in line with the other Transformers films. It's, you know, I enjoyed the first Transformers movies. The other ones have had some enjoyable moments, but like I can't do it anymore. I can't do these movies anymore. Just this film felt like kind of a mess from start to finish. I want to talk about some positives because I don't want to be completely negative here. There are some the visuals in this film are pretty well done overall. Like all the CGI is good. Like there's no like bad or shoddy CGI here. All the CGI that there is, and you know, obviously there's a lot of it. It's well done. It looks good. Obviously they spent a lot of money on this film, and you know, you can tell that they did. It looks really solid in terms of that. Also, there are some good action sequences early in the film. There are some cool sequences, some different things that we haven't seen in other Transformers films, in terms of some new things that Transformers can do. Just some cool sequences in terms of the chases and that sort of thing. That I thought was well executed and I was kind of into and I enjoyed. Also, this film starts out in like the Dark Ages. The opening scene is in like the 5th century, you know, with some King Arthur stuff. They show in some of the trailers. And sort of the secret history of the Transformers, which I think was an interesting idea. That's another thing that was a positive in this. It was kind of a cool concept. I think there were some nuggets here that were pretty interesting. It was like, that grabbed me. I'm a history buff, so you know, that grabbed me in terms of like, oh, that's a cool idea. It's a cool way to sort of take this franchise. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie is just, all these ideas are in is terrible. Like it's not well done. Nothing else about this film is really well done at all. The script is just bad. It's just poor writing. It feels like it was written by like a 10-year-old with just this such lowbrow sense of humor. There's these constant bad one-liners and jokes that run throughout the entire film, and a couple of them land, like some of them do. When you just barrage people with jokes for 2.5 hours, a couple of them are gonna land. I did laugh a couple times in it, but so few of them work. And you know, mentioning the time, this film is really long. Like 2.5 hours is way too long for this movie. If this movie was 1 hour and 40 minutes, it probably would have been okay, or at least passable, because at least you're kind of in and out in a reasonable amount of time and you can just sort of move on and be like, oh yeah, I had some fun with it, there's some cool scenes. But it drags on and just nothing that happens really makes sense. The plot is so convoluted. They're trying to find this thing and there's stuff happening, but there's no transitions between scenes. It's just one thing to another and nothing really makes all that much sense. And it just, for a movie that explains so much, there's so much in this movie that's explained, especially by Anthony Hopkins' character. He's basically in this just to explain things throughout the entire film. And you still have no idea what's really happening. Like, you still have no idea what's going on, despite the fact that they spend so much time explaining things. You just have no idea. And the characters that you want to see in this film, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, you know, Bumblebee has a more screen time in it, but the trailers would lead you to believe that this is kind of an Optimus Prime movie. And, you know, no spoilers, but he's in it for like 10 minutes. He's in this movie like 10 minutes out of 2.5 hours, and that's not enough, because you don't care about any of the human characters in this. They're all shallow, they're all caricatures, they're all one-dimensional. You don't care about them, anything that happens to them. It's not interesting, and that makes the action sequences, even the ones that are kind of well done and are kind of interesting and sort of look good, it makes you not care about them at all, because you don't care about the characters in them. Like, if you don't care about a character, you don't care that they're in danger, so what difference does it make? The interesting action sequences involved the actual Transformers, involved, you know, when Bumblebee or Optimus was in danger. Those are the ones you kind of care about, because those are the characters you sort of care about in this world, because you've seen them now for 5 films and they're sort of interesting. That's the Transformers movie that people want, is about the actual Transformers themselves, not about Mark Wahlberg, not about, you know, Isabela Moner, not about Laura Haddock. Speaking of those two, unfortunately, you know, the women in this film are not well represented. They're just not, and I don't blame the actresses for that at all, but they're given absolutely nothing to work with here. You know, Isabela Moner's character, I don't even know why she's in this movie. I don't know why she's in it. Like, this character adds nothing. I only remember her name because, you know, they specifically say it a couple times that it has a Z in it, and I don't know why that matters. She has no purpose in this film. This film, if she wasn't in it, the film would have lost absolutely nothing. And I don't mean that as a knock against the actress. I just mean that this character is pointless, just completely pointless. Laura Haddock is a stand-in for Megan Fox here. She's the Megan Fox lookalike, and again, I'm not trying to demean her, but she's in this film to look good, and that's unfortunately kind of it. They set her up as this like multiple doctorate holding, very intellectual person, yet that's at one point, but then also they're just over sexualizing her, and they kind of shut her down anytime she does anything, and they never give her a chance to actually kind of be respected. There are no scenes of her actually being listened to, of actually really being respected in the film. Like, you can't set up this character as being so intelligent and sort of the smartest person in the room, but then no one listens to her and she's kind of just ignored or sort of pointless or just there to look good. Like, what are you doing? These are not the Transformers movies we want. I've had some fun with some of the other ones, but this one just was glaringly bad, and even the action towards the end is not enough, because at the end of this film, the action is kind of that loud Michael Bay action that it's hard to tell what's happening. There's too many things going on at once, and none of it is really coherent. And again, it focuses solely or almost solely on the human characters that you don't care about at all. You know, I don't want to rant too much about this film. I really did not enjoy it. I hated this movie. I came out of it angry, and that doesn't really happen to me. I rarely ever come out of a film just angry about what I saw, but I was after this film. It's really aggressively bad. Just so much of it is bad. The humor doesn't work. The emotional moments don't work. The writing is awful. Some of the action is cool near the beginning, but later on, not good. The female characters are really not well served in this. You get Anthony Hopkins, you do nothing with him other than have him explain things. And Mark Wahlberg's fine, but like, you care about Optimus, you care about Bumblebee, you care about the Transformers, and you don't get that much of them in this movie. So I'm going to give Transformers The Last Night a 3 out of 10. It kind of sucks. I was hoping this would be good. I'm really disappointed in this, but, you know, tell me what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed it, honestly. If you came out of this saying, you know, I enjoyed that, it was kind of some stupid fun, but it was fun, and, you know, I liked it, you know, good. I hope you do, but I could not get into it. So, you know, leave some comments below. Let me know kind of what you think of some of the other Transformers movies as well, and what you thought of this one if you've seen it. You know, please like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.